Welcome to Shadow Warefare. This channel is not about religion, routine, or emotional motivation. This channel exists to expose invisible battles that shape visible outcomes. Here, we talk about the war you feel but were never trained to name. We deal with the unseen forces behind cycles, delays, patterns, and pressure. Shadow Warefare is for people who are tired of repeating the same battles year after year and are ready to confront the root, not just the symptoms. Tonight's message is not casual. It is not background content. It is a strategic revelation. The topic is X, which reveals the 3 midnight declarations that make every generational curse expire tonight. This is not theory. This is not speculation. This is exposure from the other side of the battlefield. Before you relax, let me say this clearly. Generational curses are real, but they are not eternal. They survive on ignorance, silence, and delay. They expire when confronted with authority, timing, and truth. Let me ask you something very direct. Have you ever noticed patterns in your family that make no sense? The same sickness repeating across generations. The same financial collapse at certain ages. The same marital breakdowns. The same delays just when breakthrough seems close. The same struggles that prayer alone never seemed to fully erase. That is not coincidence. That is programming. From the witchcraft side, generational curses are not mystical myths. They are structured systems. They are enforced through timing, bloodline permissions, and spiritual laws. But here is what most people don't know. These systems are time-bound. They rely heavily on midnight cycles. Midnight is not just a time. It is a legal checkpoint in the spirit realm. It is when old permissions are reviewed and new ones are attempted. That is why witchcraft rituals are often done at midnight. That is why attacks intensify at night. That is why many people wake up suddenly between midnight and 3 a.m. That window is not random. From the other side, midnight is when generational claims are reinforced or revoked. This is why tonight matters. Let me pull you into something uncomfortable but necessary. Generational curses don't always look dramatic. Many of them feel normal because they have been present since birth. When dysfunction is inherited, it feels familiar. And familiarity hides bondage. In witchcraft operations, we never needed a person to believe in curses for them to work. We only needed legal access through bloodlines and silence. Silence is agreement in the spirit realm, but midnight declarations break silence. Declarations are not prayers of begging. They are statements of authority. From the witchcraft side, we fear declarations more than emotional prayer. Why? Because declarations challenge legality. Prayer asks heaven to intervene. Declarations announce a verdict. And when declarations are spoken at midnight, timing amplifies authority. I need you to listen carefully now. Not every word spoken has power. But words aligned with truth, authority, and timing create shockwaves in the spirit realm. The 3 midnight declarations I am about to reveal are not random phrases. They work because they confront generational systems at their strongest hour. They confront contracts when they are being reviewed. Before I reveal the first declaration, you must understand this. You do not need to know every curse in your bloodline for them to expire. You do not need to trace your ancestry. You do not need to relive trauma. Midnight declarations collapse systems without you needing details. From the witchcraft side, when someone spoke correctly at midnight, entire generational structures would fail at once. Not gradually, immediately, because the law changed. Here is the first midnight declaration that causes generational curses to begin expiring. You must declare ownership transfer. Generational curses survive because bloodlines are treated as inherited property. Midnight is when ownership is challenged. The declaration that terrifies the spirit realm is the declaration that your bloodline no longer belongs to darkness. When spoken with authority, this declaration announces that every ancestral claim, spoken or unspoken, known or unknown, is revoked. Not negotiated, revoked. From the witchcraft side, this declaration is dangerous because it removes inheritance rights. When inheritance rights are removed, enforcement spirits are dismissed. This is why some of you feel resistance when you try to speak boldly about your family. That resistance is not emotional. It is legal pushback. But midnight favors courage. You don't need to shout. You don't need to repeat it obsessively. One clear declaration spoken with authority at midnight carries more weight than hours of emotional prayer during the day. Some of you are wondering why you've prayed for years with little change. Timing matters. Authority matters. Midnight is when authority is recognized. As this message continues, I will reveal the exact language of the remaining 2 declarations, why witches fear them, what changes to expect immediately, and how to make sure expired curses never resurrect. Stay focused. This is not information. This is activation. I need you to hear this clearly before we go any further. Generational curses do not break because time passes. They break because authority is exercised. Many people are waiting for healing while the spirit realm is waiting for a verdict. Midnight is when verdicts are recognized. From the witchcraft side, we planned around midnight because it is the hour of transition. One spiritual day closes, another opens. What is permitted to continue is reviewed. What has lost legal standing is removed. That is why declarations spoken at midnight do not echo into emptiness. They land in a courtroom. Now let me expose something most people don't realize. Generational curses are enforced by agreement more than power. They are sustained by repeated outcomes that reinforce belief. This is just how our family is. That sentence alone renews contracts. Midnight declarations interrupt agreement. Let me now reveal the second midnight declaration that makes generational curses begin to collapse immediately. The second declaration is a declaration of bloodline separation. This declaration is feared because it severs identity alignment. Witchcraft relies heavily on bloodline continuity. When someone declares separation, they are announcing that the cycle stops with them, not emotionally, legally. From the witchcraft side, this declaration is catastrophic to long-standing curses because it breaks succession. Many curses are not designed to last forever. They are designed to transfer. When transfer fails, the curse dies with the generation. This is why some families experience sudden relief when one person becomes spiritually aligned. That person became a cutoff point. When you declare separation at midnight, you are saying, "What followed my bloodline does not follow me." That sentence alone triggers alarms in the spirit realm. I want you to understand something important. Separation does not mean rejecting your family. It means rejecting inheritance that did not come from God. Darkness survives by disguising bondage as legacy. From the other side, we watched families carefully. When one person broke alignment, monitoring increased, pressure increased, confusion increased. Not because the curse was strong, but because it was desperate. That desperation often shows up as sudden doubt, fatigue, or fear right before midnight. That is not coincidence. That is resistance trying to stop declaration. But hear this. Resistance does not mean failure is coming. Resistance means expiration is close. Now let me clarify how to speak this declaration. Do not explain yourself. Do not argue. Do not justify. Declarations are not debates. Speak calmly. Authority does not. When spoken correctly, this declaration removes future permission. It does not just deal with the past. It blocks continuation. Some of you are wondering, why do things improve for a while and then collapse again? Because the curse was weakened but not cut off. Separation ends recycling. Now we move to the third and most feared midnight declaration. This one causes immediate enforcement. The third declaration is a declaration of replacement. Curses do not just leave space, they occupy it. When something expires, something else must take its place. Witchcraft understands this very well. That is why emptiness is dangerous, but replacement seals victory. When you declare replacement at midnight, you are not just removing darkness, you are installing order. From the witchcraft side, this declaration ends operations completely because it fills the territory with lawful authority. Spirits cannot return where replacement has been declared and enforced. Replacement declarations announce what will rule instead of what ruled before. Peace replaces chaos. Blessing replaces delay. Life replaces decay. Favor replaces struggle. This is not positive thinking. This is legal installation. Some of you have cast things out repeatedly because you never replace them. Midnight replacement locks doors permanently. Let me say something that may surprise you. Darkness does not fear removal as much as it fears replacement. Removal can be temporary. Replacement is permanent. This is why when Jesus spoke about unclean spirits leaving and returning, he emphasized what fills the afterward. Witchcraft operates by the same law. Now listen carefully. These three declarations must be spoken in order. Ownership transfer, separation, replacement. Do not rush them. Do not mix them. Let each one land. You do not need to repeat them multiple times in one night. One full cycle at midnight is enough to trigger expiration. Repetition is for reinforcement, not effectiveness. I want to speak to those who feel unqualified to do this. Authority is not based on how spiritual you feel. It is based on alignment. Midnight declarations work because of who backs them, not who speaks them. From the witchcraft side, we never evaluated a person's emotions. We evaluated their authority alignment. Fear did not stop declarations. Doubt did not stop declarations. Silence did. Now let me tell you what often happens after these declarations. Some people feel immediate relief. Others feel tired. Some sleep deeply. Others wake up briefly. All of these are normal. Systems are adjusting. Do not analyze too much. Analysis invites doubt. Just rest. In the days following, you may notice conversations change. Opportunities appear. Long-standing resistance softens. That is not coincidence. That is expiration taking effect. Now I must warn you of one thing. Do not announce this to people who mock spiritual authority. Mockery invites challenge. Keep this sacred. And let me say this clearly, you do not need to do this every night forever. Generational curses expire once. Maintenance comes later through lifestyle alignment, not constant warfare. Some of you listening now feel a strange calm. That calm is not emotional. It is anticipation. Midnight is not a time to fear. It is a time to rule. As this message continues, I will walk you through exactly how to prepare for midnight, what posture to hold, what not to do before and after, and how to recognize if a curse has fully expired or if reinforcement is needed. Stay present. What I'm about to share now is the difference between people who speak declarations and see lasting change, and people who speak them once and slowly drift back into old cycles without understanding why. Preparation matters not because God needs it, but because alignment strengthens authority. Before midnight, do not rush into distraction. You don't need to fast dramatically or perform ritual. What weakens midnight declarations is emotional clutter. Arguments, fear-filled conversations, doom-scrolling, anger, or indulgence right before midnight all dilute focus. Authority flows best through clarity. From the witchcraft side, we knew when a declaration would land before it was even spoken. We watched emotional posture. Calm confidence carried more weight than intensity. Midnight authority does not shout. It states, about 30 minutes before midnight, quiet yourself. Not in anxiety, not in pressure, just stillness. You are not preparing to rule. When midnight arrives, do not rush. Let the time change fully. Let the new spiritual day open. Timing is not symbolic, it is structural. Stand or sit, both are fine. Posture is not about position, it's about intention. Do not kneel in submission during declarations. Declarations are not requests. Speak upright. When you speak the first declaration, ownership transfer, do it slowly. You are not asking permission. You are announcing jurisdiction. Speak as someone signing a legal document, not as someone pleading a case. After you speak it, pause. Silence after declaration is powerful. It allows enforcement to begin, then speak separation. This is where many people feel internal resistance. Thoughts like, what if this doesn't work? Or what if I'm doing it wrong? May surface. That is interference. Ignore it. Authority does not require emotional confirmation. Then speak replacement. Do not be vague. Be clear. Name what replaces what left. Light replaces darkness. Order replaces chaos. Blessing replaces delay. Peace replaces torment. Clarity replaces confusion. Once you finish, do not add extra words. Do not panic pray. Do not explain. Stop. That moment of stillness afterward is where many curses fully expire. From the witchcraft side, enforcement often happened after the words, not during them. Now let me explain what not to do after midnight, because many people unknowingly reopen doors. Do not immediately go back into fear-based thinking. Fear is agreement with the past. Do not say things like, let's see if this works. That sentence alone weakens authority. Do not announce dramatic expectations. Freedom often shows up quietly before it shows up loudly. Do not argue with people immediately afterward. Strife is an easy re-entry point. Instead, rest, sleep. Let the system reset. Some of you will wake up the next day feeling strangely neutral, not overly happy, not overly emotional. Neutrality is not emptiness, it is stabilization. Witchcraft thrives on extremes. Authority restores balance. Now let me tell you how to recognize if a generational curse has fully expired. The clearest sign is loss of inevitability. You no longer feel like certain outcomes are bound to happen. The weight of expectation lifts. You may still face challenges, but they no longer feel scripted. Another sign is interruption of timing. Things that always happened around this time suddenly don't. The clock has been reset. Another sign is choice returning. You feel able to choose differently without intense internal resistance. That is massive. Curses remove choice. Freedom restores it. Some people experience reconciliation. Others experience separation. Both can be signs of expiration. Curses bind people into unhealthy permanence. Freedom restores alignment, not forced closeness. Now hear this carefully. Not every difficulty after midnight means failure. Sometimes resistance surfaces because the curse is no longer suppressing exposure, but exposure is not oppression, it is transition. From the witchcraft side, when curses expired, we often saw confusion among enforcement spirits. That confusion can translate as temporary emotional disorientation. It passes. Do not rush to declare again unless led heed. Over-declaration can signal insecurity. Authority does not need repetition to be real. If reinforcement is needed, it will feel calm, not urgent. Panic never comes from authority. Now I want to speak to those who are afraid to confront generational issues because of family loyalty. Ending a curse is not dishonoring your family. It is honoring their future. You are not rejecting your lineage. You are redeeming it. You are redeeming it. Some of you were born to be the interruption, the cycle breaker, the cutoff point. That calling often comes with pressure early in life, but pressure is not punishment, it is preparation. Let me say this clearly. Midnight declarations do not make you special, they align you. Authority was always available. Midnight simply activates it. You are not fighting your ancestors, you are correcting a system that exploited them. As this message comes toward its close, I want you to understand something deeply. Darkness does not get the final word over bloodlines. Time does not override truth. History does not outrank authority. Midnight is not when demons are strongest. It is when contracts are reviewed, and contracts can expire. Tonight is not about drama. It is about decision. Speak cleanse, speak clearly, speak aligned. Then live differently, not in fear, not in obsession, but in quiet confidence. The cycle does not continue because it existed. It continues because it is allowed. And tonight, allowance ends. Your bloodline does not belong to darkness. Your future is not obligated to the past. And your midnight is not a moment of fear. It is a moment of command. Stay grounded, stay aligned. And remember this, what expires tonight does not return tomorrow. This is Shadow Warefare.